They said the Indiana Fever were finished, dead in the water, a one-star team playing like they belonged in Summer League. The haters were practically planning the funeral for their playoff dreams. But guess what happened when nobody was watching? Odyssey Sims just delivered the most savage performance of the season and completely obliterated every narrative you thought you knew about this team.
The Indiana Fever won, and guess who predicted them to win? Me. Your boy John the Liquidator did. I told y'all they was not finna go out there and get swept.
This wasn't just a win. This was a straight-up declaration. And after dissecting every single second of this absolute masterpiece of clutch basketball, I'm about to reveal exactly why the rest of the WNBA should be terrified of what's coming next. Hold up, before we dive into the madness, let me paint you the insane picture of what actually went down in Los Angeles. This game was so ugly, it made a car accident look beautiful. We're talking about a 13-11 third quarter. 13-11? I've seen high school JV games with more offensive firepower. But here's the twisted part that everyone's missing while they're crying about the aesthetics. This Indiana Fever team just pulled off something that separates champions from pretenders. They found a way to win when absolutely nothing was working, and I mean nothing. Kelsey Mitchell? Ice cold when they needed her most? The entire team shooting layups like they were blindfolded? Check. Turnovers flying around like confetti? Absolutely. Yet somehow, someway, they refused to break.
There's Hole curling, Hole down the lane, the kick out Sims. Sims in the paint, the runner good.
Listen to this absolutely bonkers stat line. Aaliyah Boston started the game 0 for 5. 0 for 5. Any normal player would have crawled into a shell and disappeared. But this woman, she said, hold my earrings, and went 11 for 13 the rest of the way. 11 for 13. That's not just basketball, that's pure savage mentality. 22 points, 11 rebounds, and get this, 6 steals in a 40-minute game. That's basically stealing candy from babies, except the babies are professional athletes, and the candy is their playoff dreams. But the real story? The woman who's about to become every Fever fan's new obsession. Can we talk about Odyssey Sims for a hot second? Because this woman just walked into the most pressure-packed moment of the season and said, "Move over, I got this," with the confidence of someone ordering coffee on a Tuesday morning. 21 points, the game-winning shot. In a post-game interview that gave me actual chills when she said, "You never know what tomorrow brings. You be on the team one day, gone the next day." That's not just basketball wisdom, that's life wisdom from someone who's been through the trenches and came out swinging.
One word to describe tonight. Determined.
Here's what's absolutely insane about this performance. Sims didn't just show up, she showed out. This wasn't some lucky shooting night or favorable matchup. This was a veteran player grabbing destiny by the throat and refusing to let go. And can we please stop with this lazy analysis comparing Sims and Mitchell like they're the same player? That's like saying a Ferrari and a Lamborghini are the same car because they're both fast. Mitchell is explosive dynamite. She can blow up at any moment. Sims is surgical precision. She cuts you apart piece by piece until you're bleeding out and wondering what happened. The psychology behind this performance is fascinating. Think about the pressure cooker this team has been in. Every possession dissected, every mistake magnified, every game treated like it's do or die. Most players crumble under that weight. Sims, she thrived in it. That clutch factor isn't something you can teach in practice. It's something you're born with, something that gets forged in the fire of 1,000 battles. And last night, we watched it in its purest form. But hold up, we need to talk about something that's got me fired up about this entire roster. This win wasn't just about one player going off. This was about a team that's been forged in adversity and every single person stepping up when it mattered. Lexie Hull walked onto that court with 2 black eyes. Let me repeat that, 2 black eyes. Looking like she went 10 rounds with Mike Tyson, and she still found ways to impact winning. Her defense forced turnovers at crucial moments. She hit threes when they were desperately needed, and she played with the kind of warrior spirit that legends are made of. The comments section got this one right. Hull's impact doesn't show up in box scores, but anyone with eyes could see she was the heartbeat of their defensive intensity. That's the kind of player you want in foxholes, in Game 7s, in moments when everything's falling apart. Aerial Powers continues to prove she belongs with this group. 2 of 6 from 3 doesn't jump off the stat sheet, but her energy and defensive pressure were crucial in key moments. When you're missing rotation players, these contributions become magnified tenfold. And Stephanie White? That fourth quarter challenge was genius-level coaching, perfect timing, perfect execution, and it showed she's learning how to maximize every resource when games are on the line. The girl is evolving before our eyes. Here's what has me buzzing with excitement. This team is learning the most valuable lesson in basketball: how to win ugly. Championships aren't won with pretty basketball in April and May. They're won by teams who can grind it out when shots aren't falling, when legs are tired, when everything that can go wrong does go wrong. Let's talk about what this victory just did to the playoff picture, because it's about to get spicy. With this win, the Fever just sent shockwaves through the entire league standings, and the math is absolutely brutal for their competition. The LA Sparks now have 7 games left, and 5 of them are against teams fighting for playoff spots. Even if the Fever completely collapse and go 2-3 to finish the season, the Sparks would need to go 6-1 just to have a prayer of catching them. That's asking a team that just lost a heartbreaker at home to suddenly become world beaters. But here's the beautiful part. This team isn't collapsing. They're peaking at exactly the right time, learning lessons about resilience and mental toughness that you simply cannot teach in practice sessions. The Minnesota Lynx are next, and I know some of y'all are skeptical. I see the comments, I hear the doubt, but let me tell you what I see that maybe you don't. Momentum is a real thing in sports, and this team just captured lightning in a bottle. When your star player returns, and mark my words, she will return, this team will have battle-tested confidence that makes them dangerous. They've proven they can win when offense struggles, when stars have off nights, when referees are questionable, when everything seems stacked against them. That's playoff DNA, and it's being written in real time right before our eyes. What happened in Los Angeles represents something bigger than basketball. This is about a franchise that's building something special, about players who refuse to accept limitations, and about the kind of character that separates good organizations from legendary ones. When Odyssey Sims talked about the genuine care and support within this organization, that wasn't just feel-good post-game fluff. You can see it in how they play for each other. When Boston struggles early, teammates keep feeding her the ball with unwavering confidence. When Sims gets hot, everyone gets out of the way and lets her cook. When Hull is battling through injuries, the entire team rallies around her like family. That's championship culture, and it doesn't develop overnight. It's built through exactly these kinds of moments, grinding out victories when nothing comes easy, finding heroes in unexpected places, learning that collective heart can overcome individual struggles. The pressure handling has been remarkable to watch. Early in the season, every game felt like it carried the weight of the world. Now, they're just playing basketball, trusting their preparation and letting their natural chemistry take over. And let's be real about something. The officiating in this game was questionable at times, but championship teams find ways to win despite adverse calls, despite hostile environments, despite everything working against them. The Fever showed that maturity when it mattered most. We have to circle back to some performances that deserve legendary status. Aaliyah Boston's stat line was absolutely ridiculous. 22 points, 11 rebounds, 6 steals. But what floored me was her mental resilience. Starting 0 for 5 and responding with that efficiency shows elite mentality. Those 6 steals weren't lucky deflections. They were the result of smart positioning, active hands, and the kind of court vision that comes from studying film like your life depends on it. In a game where offense was harder to find than parking at the mall during Christmas, those extra possessions were invaluable. Natasha Howard had a quiet night statistically, but her veteran presence was felt throughout. Sometimes the most important contributions don't show up in box scores, and Howard's ability to keep everyone composed during chaos was crucial. The bench contributions, especially from Powers, showed the kind of depth that makes championship runs possible. When starters are struggling, you need players who can step up and provide stability. The Fever are developing that reliability from their role players at exactly the right time. As we look toward the final stretch, this victory feels like a seismic shift. Not because it was beautiful basketball, but because it revealed this team's true character when everything was on the line. The upcoming schedule is manageable if they maintain this level of determination. Each game becomes more crucial, but this team has now proven they can handle pressure situations. They've learned they don't need perfect execution, they just need to execute better than their opponent when it matters most. What has me electric with anticipation is how this confidence carries forward. When players make clutch plays, it changes their entire DNA for future pressure situations. Sims knows she can hit big shots. Boston knows she can dominate even when nothing falls early. Hull knows she can contribute even at less than 100%. The return of their star player will only amplify these strengths. Having proven they can win without her, they'll be absolutely terrifying with her back in the lineup. That's the kind of depth and confidence that makes teams legendary in playoff scenarios. For those questioning whether this team can make noise in the playoffs, remember that championship runs are often built on exactly these kinds of character-revealing victories. Teams that can win ugly in the regular season often find ways to win beautifully when the stakes are highest. What we witnessed in Los Angeles wasn't just the Indiana Fever beating the LA Sparks 75-74. We witnessed a team discovering its identity, a veteran player seizing her moment, and a group of athletes proving that heart and determination can demolish talent gaps and execution flaws. This is why we love basketball, not for the perfect games, but for the imperfect moments that reveal perfect character. Odyssey Sims didn't just hit a clutch shot, she embodied everything this franchise is building toward. The playoffs are coming, and if this game taught us anything, it's that this Indiana Fever team won't be an easy out for anyone. They've learned how to win when things go wrong, and that might be the most valuable lesson any team can learn heading into the postseason. Keep believing in this team, keep supporting these Warriors, and get ready for what promises to be an absolutely incredible finish to the season. This isn't just the beginning of something special, this is the birth of something legendary. The doubters said they were finished. Odyssey Sims and the Indiana Fever just said hold our drinks and delivered the performance of a lifetime. And trust me, this is only the beginning.